Hi, welcome. I'm going to call these the after hours readings because I want to give space for our shadow to be represented in a time where there's a lot of positivity. There should also be space for the more shadow aspects of spirituality, and it's not inherently evil, not bad. It is just the parts of ourselves that we deny because of one reason or another. It's just parts of us that we deny. And so by giving it space, I am hoping that you will receive something from this. I will receive something from this. May this be a mutual energy exchange. Okay? So I'm just going to pull cards, see whatever comes through. I am channeling with my spirit guides. Got the Queen of Wands in reverse. Oh, I guess I could just put it here. We also got the Empress in reverse. The Nine of Cups upright. Oh, this might be enough. The Moon, the Chariot, and the Two of Swords in reverse. There's a lot of reversals. This is a very reversal reading. Interesting. Okay. So maybe someone's gonna drop the gun on you, with that shock. I dropped my selenite stick. That's what it was. And it might shake the way you feel about yourself. Maybe you won't feel that motivated. Maybe you won't feel like you have it all. Even if you really do have it all. Right? It's just something that you are going to be experiencing, or you are experiencing this. If it's in your shadow, maybe you're not feeling like the Empress. Maybe you aren't feeling extremely feminine within your energy, comfortable, fine, independent. Maybe there are emotions that are ready to come out because I feel like the movement of that emotion has been stifled for a very long time, and it was against your own intuition. And so you never worked or just even allowed those emotions to come through, of feeling not so good, not so on top of the world, not so blessed, right? Maybe. And that's okay. I don't think we all feel blessed 100% of the time. That's why it's just good to have people around you to remind you, like, hey, you are blessed, and I'm sorry that you're going through this, and you'll be okay because I'm here for you, and you have a lot more people here for you. And if you don't have that many people there for you at the moment, know that what I'm channeling is actual support for you. So if you're feeling alone, I don't think that's necessarily accurate. I think it's that you've had to hide away for a bit. You've had to depend on yourself for a really long time. And so now you feel really uncomfortable seeking out help, Maybe it just feels uncomfortable being in the position of needing help. And so, yeah, just know it's okay. I'm dealing with that too, honestly. It's like speaking to myself. But know that it's okay to reach out to people when you're having a rough time. you will know intuitively who is the right person to reach out to as well. So don't freak out. Don't like overthink like, oh well, I don't even know who I would even talk to about this subject, and this is like, no, your body, you will naturally know who you resonate with in the moment, you know? So that's what I'm seeing so far. Seven of Cups in reverse. But you know what? You're ready to take that mask off and actually just be be open to the fact that you are uncomfortable right now, and that support would be nice, and that yeah, it would be nice to be taken care of. It would be nice to be um, given things at this time. Life is really hard for me right now. Maybe those are the things like you really want to be saying, and you are saying it, and it's not like in a belittling or humbling way to you. It's just like, no, you have people that literally love you so much, and you're realizing it. That's all. With the Death card coming out. Yeah. This chapter of pretending like everything is, or like not even pretending, it's just keeping quiet about it, not being vocal about what you're going through. This is coming to an end, a period where you keep silent on the things that you go through, and you only reemerge when you feel like you've finished or completed the cycle and you're ready to talk about it with other people. Because maybe you like to do things alone most of the time, especially the healing part, which is great. This is not a complaint or anything. This is not anything but just saying that, yeah, you're changing for the better. Know that this period of being in fear of what others have to say, just projected fears, really, it's not even what others had to say. They probably tell you that you're super talented, but you might have events in the past that have shaped your way of seeing things clearly, and maybe you're exiting this state of victimhood. And sometimes we are the victim, you know, like sometimes we are just in that place, and it's not like a flag of any kind. It's just like, no, sometimes we are the victim, but there's this period where we are allowing ourselves to step out of the victim, what is it? The victim state, right? Being the victim, we no longer identify with that because we have faced the issue enough to know that we are going to be okay. No matter what, we're going to be okay. All right, let's see what else came out. You got Ace of Wands in reverse. Yeah, so perhaps your love life isn't going so well, and I don't know why I channeled love, just that fire energy being down. It just feels like that fire for life, that zest for life isn't there at the moment. So if you are single, it's like you're not really dating, you're not really like feeling that ready feeling, you know, that energy that surges through you at the right time. Yeah, so maybe these nightmares and these fears have really impacted your current relationships, whether it be platonic or relationships, right? And so, what does Spirit want to say about that, actually? Sun in reverse. Yeah, okay. So they're saying don't think of this as a missed opportunity. Think about um think about it as just being redirected and realigned to something better, because now I think you have gained a better sense of what you actually want, versus what you don't want, right? And so now that you're more clear on these things, you are being realigned to your highest timeline, right? Because if you're aiming for your highest timeline, if you're here on this channel, you are always um, working towards your highest timeline, working in tandem with your highest timeline, always aligning to your highest timeline. And so that is going to be ever changing, because anytime we go through life, anything in life, any event, we learn something, or there's always opportunity to learn something from it. And so as we learn from our events in life, we become wiser and we become choosier, because we know what's out there and we know what's possible, and we know that what we want is actually within reach and that it is possible to be ours, right? Because we've seen it through experience. And even if not through experience, it's like through your visions and through your feelings, you know that it's real and you know that it's there, right? And so if you are being if your relationships aren't going so well, I'm not going to be the one to be like, I don't know about that, girl. No, I'm not going to be like that. I'm just going to say that, hey, if things don't work out, know that you're just being redirected to and realigned to a partner that reflects this upgraded version of you. And not saying that you, like, there was a downgrade before or anything, not talking down on the past partner or anything. It is just that they no longer align with the way you see things, you know? Like maybe you both started out seeing things the same way, but you know, evolution occurs in people like differently. We're not all biologically timed at the same time, even though a lot of it is through like astrology and stuff. I really do believe in like timed cycles for humanity to some extent, but a lot of it is just like the will to want to complete it. I don't know. Just know that you're being redirected, okay? So they're really telling you that if you're not feeling like the queen that you are, and if you are male and you're a king, okay? Easy. If you're not feeling like the king or queen you are, know that that state isn't always necessarily needed. Like, you don't need to be embodying it 24/7. That's what I'm hearing. Like, I think they're just trying to like comfort you and make you understand that you're okay by fluctuating, you know? The moon changes on a nightly basis, right? The skies shift slightly. The stars are in slightly different places every night. Everything is always shifting around us. So we are not to be really tied to any form or energy for too long anyways, right? We are constantly shifting, changing, because even the land that we stand on is ever shifting and changing. Okay? So if you're feeling that way, know that that's normal. Know that you are safe in how you feel. And yes, it does feel much safer to feel confident and to feel like you have authority in your life, and sometimes mentally we're just not in that place, and that's okay. Okay, that's why we've learned ways to deal with our shadow aspects, because we do accept them, but we've learned how to release ourselves from the that kind of um, unhealthy cycle, right? Okay. Past messages with the tarot. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you guys got the Three of Cups. Wonderful. So there's a lot to celebrate. Why? Because you are shifted, you have grown, you have upgraded, you have healed so much. And it's time for you to be acknowledged for all the work that you've done, to be celebrated, to go out and be with others that love your new form, that love who you are in this very moment, right? That is not holding on to any past version of yourself, not holding you to any standard, just allowing you to be exactly as you are and in good company. You know, that's all we really want, just some good company and just to be authentic. And I'm seeing that for you, which is wonderful. 10 of Swords in reverse. Okay. So we're letting it go. We're literally closing out a chapter, and we're going to be celebrating it. You know how people kind of, or women tend to just mourn endings first? You've mourned enough. You know? You've mourned enough. You've dealt with enough. You've dealt with enough pain, anguish, nightmares, just all this fuel for negative thinking. It's just been there, and you've kind of cut that out of your life. And now you're ready for something new, and you're ready for you're ready to be celebrated. You know you did good. This is why you're ready to start dancing and stuff, because you know you've done good. And you know you deserve to be celebrated. So accept, any outings. Maybe plan one yourself, invite people out. 8 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, no more solitary. No more going through your deepest shadows and deepest valleys and highest peaks. No, you've already experienced all of that. You're ready to kind of allow more people into your life, which is beautiful, which means that you're open and receptive. And you're ready to put down the sword and just rest. You're ready to just chill out for a sec. Like maybe you have been on grind mode, whether it's through healing yourself or just like actually working. Yeah, you're definitely resting now. You're allowing yourself to rest because you definitely deserve it. Okay, anything else, Spirit? 3 of Swords in reverse. Okay. And there's also acceptance, right? We're finally resting internally because we have come to an acceptance that what was left behind is meant to stay behind. And yes, it did hurt when it was removed, but you've healed, and now you have space for more, and you have space for people that actually care about you and actually just want your well-being. They just want you to feel good. Those are good people. But yeah. So that's gonna be the end of the tarot portion. I'm gonna pull out some oracle cards. These are starseed oracles. I do believe in starseeds. I am Arcturian and Pleiadian. I mean, oh, good thing I caught that. Yeah, Arcturian for sure. Okay. So you got activated Earth. Power, places, ley lines, trust where you're led. Yeah, that trust where you're led. You're being guided at this time away from a situation with people, places, things that no longer match you, that no longer match your vibration. And that's why you've been feeling uncomfortable, okay? You're not where you're meant to be, and you know that, and that's changing. And so you're Spirit is asking you to trust where you're being led at this time. The Seiza Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Okay. And then we got the Great Severing. Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. Yeah. So it sounds like you're going across the seas, and it's going to sever these connections that only brought conflict. Okay, you need to be actually physically removed from them. I'm gonna take some water. Hold on. You're being physically removed from an area and severing ties with connections that are hardening you. You know, that always make you feel like you need to constantly protect yourself. That never feels good, to just constantly be in that state of like, oh, don't, you know, like like always holding up your boundaries like harshly. There's a easy way to do it, and then there's like a like I see what you're doing and I'm going to immediately put up my boundaries for safety reasons. You know, those are two very different energies. And so maybe people around you are just constantly like picking fights with you, and you're just not having it anymore. You're realizing it's really petty. You're realizing that a lot of it has actually nothing to do with you at all. And it has everything to do with what they're going through and their own unhappiness. And for some reason, they're putting it on you to solve it. And it's making you feel urgent, and it's making you feel on high alert when those aren't even your issues. And you're realizing that, and it's literally been causing anger to rise within you because your body is upset that, you know, you as just you have a lot of peace. You've cultivated a lot of love and peace and softness and unconditional love, right? You thrive in that energy. But when other people come into the picture, it almost always destabilizes you in a way where you can hold up your end because you have strong boundaries as well. I'm not saying you're like left to your own devices and that, yeah, whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you have really good and strong boundaries that are tailored for you and for your own well-being, which is important. But it gets exhausting if you're constantly having to place your boundaries in front of everyone around you. And you're realizing they just don't get it. They just don't seek the same thing you do. And all you're seeking is peace. And if they're not seeking peace, it doesn't really sound like a good place to go with them to. You know? Like if peace isn't the target, then wherever you're heading, I don't I don't really want to join. It sounds turbulent. you know? And so the Seas of Mintaka, what is that? Seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Yeah, these sudden realizations about the people around you. You're realizing that they are just no good for you. Not that they're bad people. They are just stuck in some kind of mental thought that you are just not a fan of and you're not part of, right? There's no need to force yourself to be in that space when you're simply not, and even energetically in that kind of space. Okay. So know that if you've been angry, it's because um it's like energy rising in your body to get you out. Basically, it's like anger is kind of a defense mechanism, right? And so if you feel it building within you, know that it's just because you honestly don't feel that safe in your environment. And if it is to be shaken up, it's probably a good thing. It's probably for a good reason. And really it can only lead you to better. Okay, you're already kind of feeling pretty low, and so it's important to realize it doesn't just keep getting lower and lower. No, the world operates, this universe operates in cyclical and chaotic matters, and whatever. Just we experience a lot of the same things over and over again. That's why I say cyclical. But this, I feel like you're so over that cycle. You've closed it out. You're done. You're not even entertaining the thought anymore. No more. Yeah, that's all you're saying. You're just like, no more. I don't want any of this. I don't want anything you have to offer, and I don't want to give anything to you anymore. It's that feeling of like, no, I don't want to give to you. And that feeling of being forced to give because now you don't do it voluntarily or you don't feel obligated to. It feels really weird, right? When we no longer feel obligated to do something, it feels really weird when people like expect it. So as you feel less obligation for others around you, you're going to realize how weird they've been with how stingy they are with your energy specifically. Their energy, they barely give you any, but all of your time, all of your energy, it's probably scheduled around them. Or it was, and that like got you so mad. And that anger is just your body preparing to have that big movement, right? It's like, because I also dealt with anger issues growing up, or, my family just labeled me that way because they scapegoated me, and all I did was try to, well, it doesn't matter about me. Just know that I get anger. I understand what anger is. And I've had to work through a lot of my own anger because I don't want to operate in that state of unconsciousness, Oh, the seas of Mintaka bringing unconsciousness to light. Yeah, so that anger, maybe you don't really understand what your anger is trying to tell you, and that's why I'm channeling the anger for you. And it really is just like a preparatory feeling because you're literally going to be like jetpacked out of a situation that you're in, and you're going to be just placed in this new place, and it's going to be like very peaceful, and you're going to be like, where the heck am I? This is not normal. And your spirit guide's going to be like, yeah, that's the whole point. It isn't your normal, it's your new, it's your new beginning. Go live it, go love it, go exist in it. Don't worry about what you left behind. What you are entering is so much more divine and so much more aligned with you and who you've become that you are going to frolic and you're going to be so happy in it. I love that. Wow. That's good energy. You're stepping through a portal because you realize you deserve better. And you do deserve better, boo. You do. I don't know why I called you Boo, but it felt right. Okay. Well, this is where I sign off. All right. So hopefully the messages helped you in some way. If it did, go ahead and like the video. Um, put down a little blue heart emoji in the comments to let me know that you got through the entire video. And yeah, subscribe if you like. Okay. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.